Right, today, I'm talking with Mr. Jesse Wagner, middle name Ford, Jesse Ford Wagner. Jesse has been with us for about, 4 months now?
Yeah, I got licensed in the middle of October, so it's been a couple months now.
Couple months. So yeah, 4 months in. We're in February now, so 4 months in. And last week, had a record week. I have her pulled up right now, submitted $18,199 and probably some cents in annual. So, and how many apps was that on? Let me look. It wasn't like just one big one or a couple IULs. It was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 apps. So big AP, lots of apps. And I just wanted to bond because we have a lot of people that are considering working with us over here at Family First Life, and maybe take us back a little bit. You came from, just tell us where you came from, just like real quick, 30 seconds, and then we'll just rip from there.
All right, so before Family First Life, I was working for my family's company, just doing all the project coordination, no sales background.
Project like flooring, right?
Flooring,
your dad's flooring company.
Just coordinating with customers and installers all day, running around job sites, nothing too exciting.
Okay. So were you doing sales for him, or was it just project management, or just a little bit of everything?
Yeah, no sales at all, mainly just project management and making sure all the jobs went smooth.
Okay. So no sales experience.
Nothing before this, nope.
Okay. What was your take on like commission only? When you heard about this, you found us from a mutual friend or my cousin. What was your take on commission sales? Like, were you nervous about that? Was it intriguing to you, or what was the take?
Yeah, at first I was definitely nervous about it. But I have a lot of people in my family that have worked commission only their whole life, and I've seen results that it can produce. And especially just being around some of the guys in this industry and meeting some of the guys, it's unbelievable the income that they can earn. So I knew that making that was definitely scary, terrifying, but I knew that no matter what it takes, how much it costed, if I invested my time and just went all at it, it would produce what I was looking for, which is a high income.
Yeah. So high commission sales, we make an average of about $1,000 per policy that we sell. Company-wide, that's the average at least. And we find clients by purchasing leads. So was that idea kind of scary to you too? Not only was it commission only, but we said, hey, you're going to have to buy some leads if you want people to sell to. What was your take on that when you first heard us talk about that?
I wasn't too nervous at first, just because I've tried other business ventures in the past, and I know it always took money to do something. And I knew that the more I spent on leads, the more opportunities I was going to get to, protect a family and perfect my craft and get better at doing this. So
right,
as much money as it took, I was willing to invest it every single week, even if I didn't produce any results from it, because I knew that just being around some of the guys in this office, it would work out eventually. So.
Yeah. I think, what was your first week? How much did you throw into leads your first week? Do you remember?
I spent $1,000 my first week.
Yep. Yeah. And that was right after that sales conference we had, right, with Zach?
It was a week before that sales conference, and so middle of October, I bought my first batch, didn't close anything the first week, and then the following week, I closed one on a Sunday.
Nice. So, that's awesome. And I remember, I don't remember, but it was early on, after that sales, you spent $1,000 on leads, and then after that sales conference, Zach and Easton and all those guys are like, hey, buy leads. If it's a choice between, paying rent for, $2,000-$3,000 or buying leads, buy the leads, because you can flip that into 4 or 5 times, what you spend in leads. And I remember like week 2 or 3, we were on an auto order and you were going to buy $500 worth of leads, because you were already, your $500 order for that week, you already went through it. So you're like, hey, I'm going to buy more. Mm-hmm. And for some reason, I remember you like triple ordered because it didn't go through or something. And so you're like, oh no, like they just got you for $1,500 in leads. And you were like, well, I could have them reverse it. But I think you ended up, you're just like, well, I'll just work the leads, right?
Yeah, I just kept it all, and just worked them all. So it was definitely scary, but it was totally worth it.
Yeah, no, that's good. Yeah. And then, so a couple things. So spending, lead spend right now, how much roughly are you spending a week on leads?
Anywhere from 1,000 to 1,500 a week. So, and that's been pretty consistent since the start.
Okay. And then for someone that wants to, producing at that level, 18,000 in a week, like that's big time, especially with that many apps. There's guys that'll do it on one IUL policy, but to do that on what was it, 12 apps is pretty good. What did it take as far as like hours? So if someone is listening to this and they're like, hey, I want to do what Jesse did, what are some of the things that are required to be able to hit that? Like walk us through that week a little bit.
From the get-go, I've been all in. No matter how much time it takes to get the job done, I am willing to do it. I start my day off by getting here around 6 in the morning. I got a gym downstairs, so I'll hit the gym, and then I'll come up here and just start cranking. And then I will work all day until about 7:30 at night.
And that's 2 days a week,
that
3?
Is Monday through Saturday, and Sundays I wake up and I want to work still. So I'll still call from home a little bit and get some stuff done, do some background work just to prepare myself for the next week coming. So
you're saying to hit that, you're doing like 12 to 14-hour days, spending 1,000, 1,500. I would say you're probably closer to 1,500 pretty consistently, if not $2,000 some weeks. Especially with how the leads we have dialed in now, like the quality's way high, so it's worth, just stacking cash, throwing as much into the leads so we can, produce. So 6 days a week, 12 to 14-hour days for, X amount of time. You've pretty much ran that schedule since day one. So 4 months of doing that, like it's not for everybody, but that's definitely what's required to, make a lot of money and excel, in this business. So
100%. And I think once you dial your skill down and get better at it, you don't have to do a schedule like that. But it just depends on what you want. And right now I want to grow this thing to the moon and work as hard as I can to just build an income and create the results I want. So putting that time in is no big deal. And also I suck still sometimes, so I need to do that to make sure I pay my bills.
Yeah, and it's funny because like you don't have to be this crazy salesperson or have this like silver tongue to be really good at this. I would say you're really good at talking to people, but it's more so just buying the lead, showing up, and actually doing the work that sets the people apart. The top producers from the average or the people that always end up fizzling out. There's like a 92% failure rate in this industry, so to be part of that 8%, or I think it's even less, show up, buy the leads, consistently do the activity. And even if you have to work 12, 14-hour days, maybe it's 1, 2, 3 years of doing that, you have the rest of your life to do whatever you want. So it's sacrificing a little bit of time in the grand scheme of things to get ahead. So is there anything tips-wise or any last words you want to leave with anybody that might be listening?
I think you're spot on. If you come in and do this work and do your day-to-day and you're super consistent and disciplined, it's going to work for you. The only reason it won't is if you quit. But other than that, man, it's pretty straightforward. You just come in and do it and you will be successful. So
awesome.
It's nothing crazy.
Awesome. Thanks, Jesse.